Learning gesture drawings is key to improving your art, but can I learn how to do it in just 7 days? Let's find out. As I'm sure many of you have learned from different artists that always say the key to improving your anatomy and full body drawings is gesture drawings. If you don't know what gesture drawings is, let me explain. It's basically a quick sketch that captures the movement and energy of a subject. The idea behind it is you don't need many details, but you can tell exactly what's going on with the pose and the movement of the drawing. With this knowledge, I want to take you guys on my journey of learning gesture drawings, but honestly, it was like 2 weeks since I was on a vacation, but 7 days had a better title, so we're gonna rock with that. Anyways, I'll start from the beginning, which I was working on my iPad for. I'll pop a couple images up of the first few that I tried, and let's just say, looking at these now, these are horrible. They look like if I was drunk and I was just drawing a person for the first time and I wanted to make them look like they had motion, but I think I focused too much on that element and they just looked weird and just ugly. The next day I really wanted to take my time and focus and try to draw the best that I could at the moment. And it wasn't horrible, but I think the finished project was a little too skinny and I was trying to be very flowy, if that's a word. But either way, I felt like this was a good starting point and a reference for future weeks here. At this point, a day or two have passed and I start drawing a bunch of different quick little gesture drawings. And like the last couple days, it's not going too well. So this time around, I really take some time and I start watching some different guides and YouTube videos to kind of help understand what I'm doing wrong and not just freestyling it. This seems to help me, as the following day, I really start to trust the process and stop caring about the flowing motion of the lines so hard and trying to capture the person better. My workflow turned into using the gesture drawing and trying to have the motion and smooth lines and then slowly building upon that and turning them into more solid and straight lines, if that makes sense, by drawing over and over the lines, making them more redefined and even adding some basic shading, which makes it look way better. I also want to give a mini shout out to this kid's notepad that I found. I started using it every day to draw gestures and quick little sketches while I was at work, and when I wasn't busy a lot of the time, it let me just kind of show some of my little progression off here. So the next part of the video, I was actually working on it at my trip to Las Vegas, so the next couple days were done with a little notepad and some pens that I had with me. Which I might add, Vegas was beautiful outside. That's why it took more than 2 weeks to finish this video, because I kept getting distracted. I was on a trip, you gotta understand. So the first drawing I worked on was this guy walking with some baggy clothes and glasses on. Looking back on it, I really messed up the proportions of the head size, but it isn't horrible, and it's more just the proportions that are off, and it's a little bit stiff, and it doesn't really portray the motion that he's walking. But I feel like this whole week, my big struggle has been capturing that movement. So if you guys do have some tips, I would love to hear them below for making your characters really feel like they're moving, but it wasn't horrible. The second drawing, I really wanted to focus on the flow. I wanted to make it feel like he was really moving, but it kind of came out a mess and hard to read the image overall. So funny enough, I feel like I did the opposite of the last one. One day I might actually combine these two skills. Moving on to the final drawing I did for this day. I believe this turned out the best, as I took the two elements of the last two. I incorporated more details in this one with the stomach area, with on the left side a little bit of sharper edges indicating the little bend in the body there. One thing I learned, which was nice, was adding some like movement lines on certain joints to keep them all kind of lined up. So a lot in the video, the guy would do it on the eyebrows, the shoulders, right on the hip, and maybe even the knees, and it kind of just kept a lot of the joints even together, even if they're like in crazy weird poses. But it really helped, and I feel like adding these lines made the drawing look a little more fun and dynamic, which I end up using these movement lines on the shoulders and hips and knees for literally the rest of the video and all my figure drawings, which kind of really helped it, so shout out to that technique. Moving on to the next day, the first attempt was really stiff and boring, but it was a good warm-up for my best drawing I did this entire week. Bam! This one turned out so good. I feel like it captures the flow of the pose along with not looking super stiff. Her clothes even came out looking nice, which is rare for me, but overall I feel like I've improved so much this week and learned some better techniques, and I feel like that really helped me make this one that I'm proud of right here. And at this point I took a couple days off for the finale since I was on a trip and I wanted to have some fun, but the last three poses They came out alright. They weren't as good as the last one, but they had some decent motion. They're definitely not as stiff as the earlier drawings of this video, but overall, my experience with learning gesture drawings these last couple weeks is honestly that practice makes perfect. I know we all get sick and tired of hearing that, but being consistent will always improve your art, and it really is true. I also feel like the biggest turning point this week was adding lines of motions to the shoulders, the knees, hips, keeping everything together, flowing on the same lines. And another thing I want to add is I feel like being confident in your lines is very underrated. I feel like my first lines of this week were very confused and awkward because I didn't know exactly what I was starting with or what I wanted to draw. And once I got more confident throughout the week drawing some of these bodies, I feel like my drawings overall improved, and you can tell by the line quality also. So overall, if you guys enjoyed this video, I would appreciate if you guys comment, like, and subscribe. I'm trying to upload every couple weeks, and if you guys have any tips below, let me know, and love you guys. Thank you.